Yes, they're remaking. I don't think any of them.
Really?
That I really was like, oh my God,
Really?
yes, this is what I needed in my life.
So I was like,
now,
the
have I
opposite.
enjoyed all of them? I mean, yeah, but I wasn't like, oh my God.
She's not beautiful. She's not. She's not. She's not. She's not. She's not.
Hey friends,
Hi.
It's your friends. We are back, and it is time for another C&T review. I am C, Chloe,
and
she is.
I'm the T, Takora, or TC. How y'all doing today? Hey.
Usually we review all the things, either music, what else have we done? I forgot. Oh, fashion. Yes, so you should go watch all those videos.
All those
But
videos.
today we are reviewing a movie. And what movie are we reviewing?
Boom, what is it?
Mulan.
The live action.
Mulan live action 2020.
Yes. It literally came out like 3 weeks ago, right, Chloe?
It did. It
Yeah,
came out 3
so.
weeks ago. Which means, if you have not seen this movie, we're issuing
a spoiler alert.
formal spoiler alert.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So in this
All
review,
right.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna do expectations. So what we expected of the movie prior to watching it, and then we're just gonna go straight into reviewing it while comparing it to the classic animated Disney film that, if you're watching this, probably you have seen, Mulan. So Chloe, tell me.
Okay.
What did you expect? Like,
I wrote this down.
when you yes for writing down, when you first heard that they were going to do a live action Mulan, and you know Disney guys have been on this wave of redoing a lot of their animated movies, of the classic animated movies. So when you heard they were doing Mulan, what was your first reaction?
Honestly, I was like, oh, okay. Like, if I'm honest, I wasn't like, yes. But if I'm for real, let me think. Was there anything that I was really like, yes, they're remaking? I don't think any of them.
Really?
That I really was like, oh my God, yes,
Really?
this is what I needed in my life.
So I was like,
Now,
the
have I enjoyed
opposite.
all of them? I mean, yeah, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I should go watch that.
So I was like the opposite.
Yeah, especially not Mulan, because it wasn't like my favorite films ever.
Oh, okay,
It is a
got
classic,
it,
but it
got
wasn't
it.
like up there with my top.
your
So
list.
I was like,
So I'm
yeah.
like, I was super excited. So Mulan is on my top list, top 5, and I was like super excited. Just how I was super
Yes.
excited about all the other films. Like I was super excited about Cinderella and Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and Lion King. I was
Wow,
super
you didn't know
excited about like all of it. And so I was like really excited. I actually had a really excited reaction. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. And then
I think I remember being in the theater with you when we saw
and
the
I
preview,
like
and you were like,
I was
oh,
shaking
and I was
her.
like,
I was like, oh my gosh, it's Mulan. I love Mulan.
and I was like, okay.
She's probably my like 3rd favorite Disney princess after Tiana
Really?
and Jasmine. As you see, I love
I was like,
I love princesses that
I
like
wrote for
kind
it. I
of
knew they
think
was.
think for themselves and kind of like go against the mold, because I think all of them go against the mold, as you can see. But I was like shaking her, and I was like, oh my goodness, Chloe, it's Mulan. I was like so excited, and but then they said there's going to be no music, and this is where the expectations come into play for me personally.
And that's when I was like,
When they said that, I said, okay, so it's going to be like Cinderella. Cinderella didn't have any music, and or anything like that. So I was just like, all right. So that really like adjusted my thinking fully, like completely and fully, because I was like, okay, no. They said no singing and no mushu. So I was like, all right.
yeah, right.
So that
no
means that
Mushu.
it's not going to be that funny. Because Mushu provided the basis of like the humor, the bulk of the humor in the original movie, and so
yeah, he was the comedy.
so that kind of, I think, knowing that before I went into watching Mulan, I think it literally was just like, God, like my expectations. I didn't have high expectations. Not I want to say I didn't have high expectations, but they were different. I wasn't expecting the Mulan that I have, like, that I love. I knew that already.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, like I already knew what they were gonna do. So that was my expectations. I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm really excited. The fight scenes look great. And so I'm really excited for that. But I already knew. I didn't have my, like, I was like, I'm not going to compare it to the original because it's not going to be the original. And I think the more I read up on it, also, I knew it, I kind of knew where they were going, that they wanted to base it more on the legend of Mulan than the Disney version. And they wanted to have the kind of the music in the background as like instrumentals, but not exactly sing. And I knew that they were going to split the Captain Shang into two characters. Like, I kind of knew these things because I had done a little bit of research on them. So those are my expectations. I was just like, okay, well, like, I went into it knowing that stuff, so I was just like, all right, here we go. That's fine.
All right, here we go. Let's get it
popping. You know? Did you like?
So I think me,
did you expect, or I don't know if you knew all those things prior to going into the movie?
I think you told me about the no music, I think that's another reson why I was like, I'll wait for it. Because if y'all don't know, which y'all should know because y'all have watched our videos, you know that I'm a singer and musician. So they said they're moving the music. I was like, well, what are we doing here? Yeah. No reflections? Who is that girl I see?
Who is that girl I see?
I'm going to make a man out of
First
you?
First of all, I was...
None of these things?
We're going to talk about that when we get into the movie. But...
yes. But, so because of that, I think I knew about no music. I knew about no Mushu. So that was like all I knew. And so based on the previews, I expected it to be just like really serious, like no funny whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And I was expecting that it would be less weighted on the fact that Mulan dresses or cuts her hair off, transforms into a guy. Based on the previews, because all you saw was her flipping through the air with her hair out in her dress. So I was like, well, maybe they're not including. Maybe it's something
they're not
else. Maybe
including
we're gonna get a
that
direction.
transformation.
That whole thing. Like I thought she was gonna go off and fight and just be like, I'm Mulan, I'm gonna kick everybody's butt. So I thought they were including that. I believe it, especially given this day and age and everything with gender, everything. I was like, maybe that's like too sensitive. I don't know, based on the thing. I feel like similar stuff, she's expected to behave like a lady and be quiet and all this stuff, but she want to fight and do things that culturally are more traditionally seen as manly. I thought that would stay there. And I said I don't think that she would be disguised as a man.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
so got you. So you didn't think that she would disguise as a man.
I didn't think she would. I thought she was
just always was a woman. Got you. Okay. Well, that's a perfect segue because then we can start actually like discussing the movie. So so let's first talk about, I guess, like the storyline, right? Let's discuss that, because you said so they did actually still include the whole disguise as a man thing, because that is actually the legend of Mulan. So like the actual story of Mulan is she did go into war to save her father. That is very true. So basically what happened in this movie, everything was very true. So she was already a trained fighter. She did go into war to...
Right, that was not
the original.
If we talk about comparison, there was none of that. Like, that was my first thought. I was like, straight out
she's
the gate,
already
I wrote out
so
the
that
gate.
is really like
we got
the original story of Mulan that Disney is based on. She's actually a trained fighter. But Disney loves a good come from the ashes, rise from the ashes storyline. For a Disney movie,
look at her. She was down, but now she's great.
It makes more sense for like a Disney film for her to be trained. To be like, all right, she sucks, and then she becomes this great fighter, and then she saves like China. This one, she's already she's already a trained fighter.
She's already a fighter.
What did you think about that? Like, did you like the fact that she was already a trained fighter, or were you like, I kind of miss her not being a trained fighter?
I don't think I have like a like or dislike for it.
I do.
Okay. I don't think I had a like or dislike for it. I just think when I saw it, I was like, okay, we're going a different direction. So then I just had to squash all of my preconceived notions and was just like, okay, I'm open to what you're going to show me now. Because everything I know is a lie.
Good. Everything I know is a lie right now.
My whole childhood's a lie. So she's a fighter. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Now what?
I actually kind of missed like the fact that she like wasn't a trained fighter beforehand.
Okay.
And then, or like the original and the Disney version, that she wasn't trained and then she became trained. I actually really liked that sort of thing. I kind of missed the clumsy Mulan and the outspoken Mulan and the like. She was much more reserved and quiet in this version. And I remember thinking like, and that came with her, I think, being trained in her whole that chi thing that they kept talking about. I think like that's where they were going, but I kind of missed the outspoken, clumsy, kind of all over the place Mulan, because even then that like the clumsiness kind of still came into play when she at the very end when she defeated the villain and saved China. Like she was still very much so.
She had to make it up on the spot, and she had to improvise.
Make it up on the spot. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, Mushu was like, "What's the plan?" So you don't got a plan. He's like, "I'm just making this. I'm making this up as I go along." Like, you know what I mean? Like that was. I did miss that portion of of Mulan, like that, like, you know what I mean? Like I kind of like that portion of Mulan, that she was outspoken. Like there were certain things in the actual Disney version, like when they come to announce that all like the males have to go to war, and her father like walks forward and she comes and like is like, no, please don't take him. Like she's very outspoken about that. Like I like that portion of her. Like in the live action version, she didn't do that. Like she kind of spoke up at the dinner table.
Her mom was like, "Don't you dare, because you already have disgraced him. So don't even try it." But she tried to. They didn't.
And I did. And I kind of miss like the animated where she runs forward and she's like, "Please don't make him go. Like he's already served."
Like, Mulan, you dishonor me.
You disappoint me. Yeah, you dishonor me. I was like, "Oh my goodness." So I definitely missed that Mulan. Definitely. So what else did you like? I guess the thing that was comparisons, if you want to talk about Mushu. So Mushu was replaced by the Phoenix.
Did you I didn't realize that until like literally, I think halfway through. I think when she had already been disgraced from the army, and after the witch, sorry spoilers, you're gonna get all the spoilers. After the witch visitor was like, "We're alike," blah blah blah, and then she's like, "No, we're not." And then he showed up. I was like, "Oh snap! That's the Phoenix is red. That's Mushu." And it's like her guide. The whole. I was like, okay. I like how they kind of kept that guide.
So you see him, you see the dragon, like the Phoenix flying throughout the movie. So you do see that, like he'll pop up randomly. You'll see a Phoenix fly throughout the movie. So
at first I was confused though. I thought they were saying that the witch lady was the Phoenix, but then when she sacrificed herself, which we'll get to later, I was like, okay, guess not. I was like, okay, never mind.
I did like that. I like that and that kind of was more, I think, relatable maybe to the like Chinese culture. Because I think they really do, like, you know what I mean, like they believe heavily in those things. So I think that was more like definitely more true to the Chinese culture and everything like that. So I thought that was pretty cool how they did that. Nice. I thought that was really nice too. So let's see here, what's another comparison? I have to talk about this because I think Cricket. Because I think
I was literally thinking that. I was like, I love that they made him a person.
Me too. Oh my gosh. I was just like, when he said Cricket, I was like, yo. And then I love Cricket's character. And I was like, I love that they made him a person. And they actually kind of made him funny.
Yeah, he was like silly. I was like, yes.
I love
when he said, my name's Cricket, I was like,
definitely. I love that too, Chloe, so much. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, I love that they made Cricket a like actual person. It was so amazing.
They kept a lot of the characters. I mean, we didn't get Grandmom, but we got a sister.
Grandma.
What do you think about the sister? Or her inclusion in the story overall?
So to me, she didn't serve a purpose. Like, she
right? Okay,
didn't,
I thought it was me. I was like,
she didn't
that's
really serve a
nice,
purpose. Like, it was nice
but
that
to
they
have
gave
a
her
fear of
sister.
spiders, and the only reason why Mulan messed up with the matchmakers because she freaked out, which I was kind of like, that's not fair. This girl screamed her head off. So why you mad at Mulan, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
and actually, you know the interesting part about that when they were in the matchmaker, like, you know how the matchmakers always talk about you have to be poised and everything like that. That's another thing that I guess for me didn't correlate. So in the animated movie, they say like the wife has to be poised and composed and quiet. Everything that Mulan in the animated movie is not. Right. So that's why the matchmaker was like, you're gonna bring dishonor to your family because you're like nothing how we think a wife should be. Yeah. But in this movie, Mulan is very composed and reserved and kind of quiet, and so it just didn't make any sense. Even with her like chi, you have to be really balanced to do what she did when like the spider came down and the
with all the cups and stuff and how she balanced it.
You have to be like, really composed. So that just didn't make any sense because she was like, oh, you're not going to be a good wife. I'm like, but she literally is everything. Like she's literally everything that you said that a good wife should, what you think a good wife should be. Right, and even the fact that she tried to stop the spider from touching her sister in her moment of supposed to be getting matched up and it's supposed to be about her, and she was like, oh, let me go over there and stop this before my sister freaks out. Like, so even that I'm like, that makes a good wife. What you talking about? Like, it just didn't, like, it made more sense in the animated because she really was like, Mulan really was the opposite of what they thought a good wife should be. She really was. She was definitely like, she was outspoken, which is the opposite of quiet. She was clumsy, not very graceful. And she was definitely not reserved. So, like, she was definitely opposite of that. But the way that they made Mulan in this movie, she was definitely everything that you would think. The only difference about her is that she could fight. And that's why they thought that she shouldn't be a good wife. That's why they was hating.
Because crazy, she was like rowdy as a child, like absolutely. Yeah. But after her dad was like, you need to put that away, which made me sad. But either way, after her dad said you got to put that away, she became like so reserved and quiet. Like I think they were still judging her and that little baby Mulan who was running after the chicken. And I'm like, okay, y'all just all mad because y'all can't fight.
Y'all just mad because you can't fight. But yeah, I definitely think this didn't serve anything. Didn't serve her. Like I was just like, I didn't get the purpose of her being there. Like,
and even like she was there in the beginning, and then like before she left with the whole matchmaker, and then when she came back, and she's like, "Have you been matched?" Blah blah. Yes, he was the guy who he's not afraid of spiders. Like that was it. It wasn't even like
didn't really. Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Exactly.
I think other than to compare her or have her parents something to compare Mulan to.
Maybe.
I think that's basically it.
So if we want to move on to like another comparison, or you want to talk about the witch. So the witch was the hawk in Mulan.
Yes, which content?
That I didn't realize. I was like you with Mushu.
I watched it all the way through, and I just started watching it again right before today, and it clicked today, and I was like,
this has been another CET review. Thank you for hanging out with us today.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out our other videos. We'll see you next time. Bye.